Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I can't see chat. Oh, 16 people watching and I can't see chat. Let me pull it up on my phone. Hello. Hey, cutie pie. Hey, double shot. Val, I love you. Okay, you listen. You're cutting his hair. Oh my God. I hate doing this. Hold on. Hey, Constance, dude. Um, hey, Ken. Hey, Angie. This is gonna be Ken. I love you. This is not gonna be a drama thing. I think we've had a little bit too much of that. Can y'all hear me? Okay, let me see if y'all can hear. Okay. I think we've had a little bit too much drama. So this is 1932 drama. We'll take that any day of the week. Cutie pie. Hey, Susan. Yay, I love you. I'm going to explain this, that. You want to know what that is? As y'all know, or you don't know, I was redoing my cabinets. They were very dark varnish, and about 10, 15 years ago, I decided to paint them white. Hey, Destiny. Hey, Lace with Lacey. I decided to paint them white. I didn't use the correct paint. So, right before, hey, Blue, I love you. Right before Thanksgiving, something in my brain said, hey, take all the paint off and the varnish. Thank you. That's I put a little bit too much leave-in conditioner at my root, but that's another story. So anyway, I have taken every bit of paint, every bit of varnish off these cabinets. People are sick of hearing about these cabinets. These two right here, cabinet doors, are sitting over there, ready to be put back up. But it's not put back up. And that's just like an open cabinet, which is my biggest pet peeve on earth. So I got contractor paper and taped it up there. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Now I don't know how many Hollywood fans we have out here tonight. Old Hollywood fans, Jean Harlow, all the greats. And I also, let me tell you what I also done. Hey, Courtney. I have been ready to do this for way too long. And something always happened and I didn't do it. Can't remember. So this is gonna be a look. Hey, Fiddy, I love you a long time. This is gonna be a look back at the death of Paul Bern. Now, Paul Bern was Jean Harlow's second husband. He was much older than she was. They were engaged for exactly 2 days. Hey, Crazy Daisy. They were engaged for exactly 2 days before they got married in July of 1932. He was much older than her. Kay Kelly as um, not a particularly attractive man. Mama Ricky. Thank you, Mama Ricky. I'm trying. Hey, Mama Cat. I'm trying to you know, be on camera a little bit more. Um, I love anything old Hollywood. Anything. Oh, wasn't she though? Wasn't she though? Paul Bern, I'm gonna give you a background on the players in this. Paul Bern was a producer, director, a writer. And when in MGM back in the 30s, Louis B. Mayer ran it. Irvin Thalberg was the head producer. Never ever had his name on a film as producer until he died, which was only a few years after this man died. Thalberg was really sick. I will get into that later. So only he was second only to Thalberg in MGM's production, and people respected him. People loved it. He was known as the Hollywood's father confessor, because people went to him. Hey, Vintage Gal. He started the career. Some of these people you're not going to know. I implore you to find out who they are. Barbara Lamar, who was deemed the woman too beautiful for Hollywood. She was a silent film star. She drank and coked herself to death by the age of 20. I want to say 24, 25. She had 7 husbands. Thank you, Scott. Thank you all very much. Thank you. He was in love with her. He dated her. He got her started when Jean Harlow made Hell's Angels. Hey, Miss Christie. She was under contract to Howard Hughes, the crazy man. You know, remember he was went berserk. Paul Bern bought out her contract from Howard Hughes and brought her to MGM, where she was a hot commodity. So when they announced that they were going to get married, Jean Harlow and Paul Bern, nobody was happy about it. Are you ready? Let me tell you, Hetty was gorgeous. Nobody was happy. He was very, I mean, let me see if I can screen share. This is going to be fun. Let me see if I can screen share. Hold on. Trying to get you a good look at him. Not an attractive man. Let me see. Don't tell me I can't screen share. Anyway, he was dumpy. He was dumpy. I'm gonna try to screen share. And if you let me tell you this, if you read, I have read about 4 Jean Harlow biographies, at least 4. You will get a different story about this couple every time you read one. One, you're going to read that he beat her so badly the night before they married that she could hardly wear clothes. You're going to read one where she was just absolutely in love with him. You're going to read that she pursued him, and then you're going to read he pursued her, and then you're going to read that the marriage was not happy, and then you're going to read, I mean, it's just, the facts are this. The facts are this. Oh, I think I can screen share. Hold on. I'm going to try screen share. Hold on, people. This might work. It might not. It might not. All right, let's see. Hold on, guys. I've got all these things saved over here. All right, let's see. Can y'all see that? Let me look. Let me see on my phone if y'all can see that. Hey, Annabelle. Scott Michaels. Yes, Scott Michaels of Dear Departed Tours. I think we're sharing. She was with, yeah, well, yeah. Cutie Pie, when she died, she was with him. All right, are y'all seeing the note? Are y'all seeing the picture of Paul? I'll stop it ever. Okay, there she is. All right. I mean, look at him. Look at him. There's nothing to him. However, hey Uber. Now here's what we're gonna do the weekend that he died was Labor Day weekend, 1932. Several stories have come around. One says, let's start back. Let's start back. Let's go back to New York in the 1920s. Paul Bern wanted to be an actor. He quickly found out that he did not have the skills to be an actor. So he opted for being a stage manager. This was in the 20s. He met a woman named Dorothy Millette in a Toronto touring company, and they fell in love. Many say that they were actually legally married, but it is probably, they were probably common law. She did refer to herself as Mrs. Paul Burns. Here's a little insight into Paul Burns' family. His mother drowned herself when he told her he was getting married. His mother in 1920 drowned herself she said, I'm going to drown myself to get married. And she did it. So he met Dorothy Millette. They became a couple. They lived together. For all intents and purposes, they were married. She referred to herself as Miss Paul Bern. Now, she had a breakdown. Miss Millette had a really horrible breakdown. And she was put into a mental institution. Around this time, Paul Bern decides he's coming out to Hollywood. He's leaving New York, he's coming out to Hollywood. But he pays for her medical care for years. She was in this mental institution for years. Now, mind you, Paul was out in Hollywood clawing his way all the way up to the top, and he did. Well, then she got well enough to leave. So it was a famous hotel in New York called the Algonquin Hotel. He paid for her to stay there, and every month he sent her money. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, $300 a month. But if $300 a month in 1932 ain't bad. Well, here she is. Every time he went to New York, he would see her. And as you on our screen right now, we got Miss Harlow. He would visit her. They would write. Every month he sent the check. And for whatever reason, Dorothy just accepted this. So however they got married. Paul and I'm busting now. That one was be in there. Jean Harlow and Paul Bern get married. It is huge news all over the world. The blonde bombshell marries this guy. All of a sudden, Miss Millette decides that she wants to come and live in San Francisco. And Paul writes her notes and says, you know what? I don't really know if that's what, you want to do, but if you want to live in San Francisco, stay at the Plaza Hotel. And he paid for her to stay there. Now, let's come to the night of the, I won't say murder, the night of the death. We have Miss Dorothy Millette in San Francisco. We have his wife, Jean Harlow, and we have him. Now, there were staff that lived on the premises. It was a John and Winifred Carmichael. She was his cook. They were married. She was his cook. He was his chauffeur. And then you have a man named Clifton. Let me find it. How am I not remembering Clifton? Clifton Davis. He was a landscaper. So the Carmichaels say that, hey, the night that Paul, Jean Harlow was going to go to her mother's because her mother was alone. Her stepfather, Marino Bello, who was a piece of shit, was out of town, so she was going to go stay with her mother. So that gives him one free night. It's said that she came back to the house the next day, and he said, no. Go back to your mother's, have dinner. I can't make it. I've got a lot of reading to do, scripts and whatnot. And she said, okay, see you when I see you. That's one version of it. Oh. Now, what we do know is that the next morning, Monday morning, May 5th, we know this, that Mr. Carmichael, for whatever reason, goes into the house and looks down a hallway and sees Paul Bern on the ground, shot in the head, naked, doused in his wife's perfume. Oddly enough, the first person they call is not the police. They call Louis B. Mayer. Louis B. Mayer shows up with Howard Strickland and Eddie Mannix. If Eddie Mannix sounds, familiar, if you followed the George Reeves murder, suicide, George Reeves, Superman. Eddie Mannix was married to Tony Mannix, who was having an affair with Superman. And when they broke up, she went completely berserk. Some people think Eddie Mannix killed that's another murder mystery night to get into. Yeah, the perfume was a nice touch. Let me stop and just read some. Is there another Hollywood screen actress who was really murdered by? Oh, that is yes, Thelma Todd. Carlos, Thelma Todd. And I can go over that one too. I've done one on her, but I would love to do another one on her. Thank you, Presley. Thank you. Dearest dear, yes. We're gonna get all into that. We're gonna get. I've been trying to find a layout of his home. There's none. You can't do it. It was a very oddly. He built this home. All right. It was in Benedict Canyon in LA. In 1932, that was the boonies, okay? And it was in a and it still is in a hill, like down a hill in a ravine. Jean Harlow hated that house. She hated it, and he gifted it to her on their wedding day. She liked being in a big house in the city where she could have fun. My God, hey, baby. I'm sorry if I miss y'all coming in. When I get started, I just can't stop. Um, okay, so what was it? Let me make sure I have. I get excited when I do this. I really do. For some reason, my phone won't turn around. Oh, there we go. I mean, look at the comments. I mean, look at the comments. I love old Hollywood, and the reason I'm not going to go into I'm going to go into like facts, but I'm not going to go into a lot of details about this because there's nothing better than picking up a book and reading a book and finding out. Do you know what I'm saying? Every time I open up a book, I'll show you the book I have. Hold on, the one I just. Anyway, here it is. This is about the. This is. Hold on, I'm not. Let me stop sharing. See this? Oh, there you go. Deadly Illusions. This is about the fourth book that I've read on this matter. All right, thank you. Yeah, Lucky Luciano. Yeah, Carlos. You know what? I might do another one of those because I've done it before. Done her before. But there's actually a new book with more information. And I want to read it. I want to read it. But yeah, this is like the best of old Hollywood. You know, when they found Paul Bern, actually it's not a funny story, but Clifton Davies, his landscaper, showed up on Monday, and he noticed broken glass around the pool. He thought that's really odd, you know. So he picked it up and he took it inside. When he took it inside, he looked down the hallway, and there's a hallway here, and he saw Paul Bern's upper torso. And as he walked towards it, he said there was actually, he also mentioned there was blood on the glass. So he walks down there and he sees the second body. The second body is actually John Carmichael, who, when he saw Paul Bern, fainted. So they called Louis B. Mayer, not the police, Louis B. Mayer. So Louis B. Mayer, like I said, brings Howard Strickland and Eddie Mannix, the two fixers at MGM. You don't know what a fixer is. They were press agents, and anytime any star got in trouble, they would fix it with the police or whatever. So you have Louis B. Mayer, Howard Strickland, Eddie Mannix, who was like a little gangster. I mean, Carlos is right; he was a little gangster. Then you have Irving Thalberg come, who was a big producer, head producer. Then you have phone calls were going off all over town telling everybody that Paul Bern is dead. People started showing up. So all of a sudden, there's a note found, a note, a weird note. And I'm going to show it. Hold on, let me screen share. Hold on. This odd note. And I'm going to share it right here in a minute. Go away. Now this note, this crazy, crazy note. You make sure it's the right one. It takes a lot of fluid stuff. No, that's just another one. No, but look at him. I mean, on Earth. This odd, eerie, weird note. This I'm gonna find it. Oh, that's her. Hold on, guys. My freaking computer, I swear to you on my everything is so God bless it. Oh, that's them on their wedding day. That's them on their wedding day. I can't see. Oh, what have I done? Oh, no, I did not just do this. Go up. Wait, wait. All right, and I can't. This thing will not go away. I can't find that fucking. Anyway, I'm gonna read the note to you. I'm gonna read the note to you. Just hold on. I swear, it's horrible. I hate it. Now, there's been many people who have said that they were there when Louis B went into a very ornate diary and pulled a page out and said, use this. Because they had to explain this. They had to explain how the sexiest woman on earth, how her husband committed suicide, a few months after they were married. They couldn't blame it on Jean Harlow because that would be, people would what? Couldn't be the sex, it couldn't be their number one commodity. No, it couldn't be her fault. So I'm gonna bring it up. And I'm sorry, I can't get this thing that my menu drop menu for Zoom is covering what I'm trying to it's covering what I'm trying to click on. Hold on, let me read it to you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm at the mercy of this thing. How's everyone doing? Okay, here it is. It starts out, dearest dear, unfortunately, this is the only way to make good the frightful wrong I have done to you and wipe out my abject humility. I love you, Paul. And then under that it says, you understand last night was only a comedy. Well, that's ominous, isn't it? Sure, it's kind of ominous. So they thought, all right, we'll take that we'll take that, we'll run with that. Because at this point, MGM they had to take the second most respected man in the company and make him look like a sexual deviant. That's the only way they could explain Jean Harlow's, loss or whatever. So here's what they did. They decided to run with the fact that Paul Bern had infantile penis disorder and he couldn't have sexual relations with his wife. Now, with all that being said, when asked about the note, Jean Harlow, the only thing Jean Harlow ever said was, I don't know what that means. She did not know what that meant. She had no clue. Then that's all she ever said about it. Well, oddly enough, 2 weeks later, the decomposing body of a woman was found on the banks of the Sacramento River. And they were pretty sure who it was. And that would be Dorothy Millette. And it turns out that the day after Paul Bern killed himself, Dorothy was on a steamboat that was going from Sacramento to San Francisco. They found her coat draped over a guardrail or rail. And when they got to where they were going, she was no longer on the boat. Now that's weird. How would Dorothy Millette know that Paul Bern was dead? Because you got to remember, this isn't up to the minute. Okay, Kit Kat, I will go right after this. I'm just gonna go real. This ain't gonna be real long because I'm gonna encourage people to do this on, all right. So, how would Dorothy Millette know that Paul Bern was dead a day after his murder? So much so that she killed herself. Funny you should ask that. You should ask that. I'm gonna have to refer to this. Now, when Paul Bern died, all of these people started making claims on his estate. The people that worked for him, right, said that they saw a woman pull up in a limo. All right, it was so dark they couldn't see who she was, and they heard a gunshot at some point and a scream during the night. But because of the canyon and the way it is, they weren't real sure. Then I think it was John Carmichael, said that he was awoken in the wee hours of the morning to a limo leaving. So, yeah, turned out that Dorothy Millette, on the night that Paul Burns sent Jean Harlow away, said he had to her to spend the night at her mother's because he had to read scripts, actually entertained Dorothy Millette, his wife. Something happened, don't know what. Broken glass around the pool. There was a wet woman's bathing suit in the house. Now, well, so that leaves us with this. What? Okay, you're married to Jean Harlow. You have your common law wife. who is mentally not stable. Um, Possibly you have a dysfunction, even though on the death certificate it doesn't list any abnormalities. There were other people, women, he's dated other women in Hollywood, so it would have been gotten around. So, and then you have Jean Harlow. Paul Bern's brother said that everybody knew about, Dorothy. Everybody, that absolutely 100% Jean Harlow knew about her. She was talked about constantly. Jean Harlow to this would never say anything to the day she died, until after the day she died. No, you're good, Kit Kat. You're good. You're good. I'm not looking at. Let me set this right. I'm not looking at chat a lot because I'm running my mouth. So we have scenarios here. Scenarios. Let's list some scenarios. So either Paul Bern really did kill himself. He couldn't take it. He was about to be exposed. The biggest, sex symbol on earth is going to be humiliated. Ate his weenie don't work. And he killed himself. But Dorothy Millette was there, and Dorothy Millette didn't call the police either. And that don't make no sense. Why doesn't Dorothy call the police after he does this? Sarah, I love you. That's Sarah. That's my beach buddy. That's my family. So see if he killed, or okay. So now we have, could Dorothy Millette have killed Paul Bern? Now the employee said they heard a gunshot and a scream. So did she shoot him and scream? Did he shoot himself and she screamed? Or the most popular and what everybody wishes hoped to happen really, did Jean Harlow come in and go, who the hell is you? Don't know. The coroner, all right, so here was what I want to see. Now, Paul Bern didn't have a big estate. In fact, I think he left Jean Harlow in a lot of trouble. I mean, there were so many petty, some of these charges to his estate. All right. Let's see. So on one of the claims against his estate was someone used a studio limo to go to San Francisco on the night Paul was killed. The bill was turned into the transportation department a week after he died. It was for $96, sorry. And the estate paid it because the car had been ordered by Paul. Or no. Um, I, I don't even know. I don't even know. The doctor, Jean's doctor, was charged for $55 for writing a note to excuse Jean Harlow from appearing at the inquest. I can go on and on and on at the petty bullshit. So there are the three. Either Dorothy Millette killed him because he wasn't going to leave Jean Harlow. Either Jean Harlow killed him because he had a second wife, or he killed himself because these two women were about to meet. He really was an awful man. Janine, he really was an awful man. Horrible. Um, See, back then, being a star, nobody knew what that a movie star. People didn't know how to be movie stars yet. The golden, golden, not golden, but the silent era, they started, it's when they really started to be movie stars where you were covered, you went worldwide. Before you were in a play, um, the when you were when you started making movies, you started having these international stars. At the beginning of, like, if y'all want to ever talk about Clara Bow, they had to write morality terms into these contracts. Yes, Max Bear, she did. There are so many different. Some people say she never ever. Oh, she never drank, and uh, and then she started drinking. And other ones said she was drunk and always drunk. That's why you have to read so many of these things to. And everyone you read, you're like, what? So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go into a lot of details. I would love for y'all to find a book or find something and do it yourself, and we'll come back and revisit this. I will say this, that and I put a picture of it up, and watch me not be able to get it back. Watch me not. I will say this about Gene Harlan. Uh, After his estate, right, was wiped out, she did buy this burial plot right here and this headstone for Dorothy Millette. That was Jean Harlow. And to be as young as she was, and to have been as used as she was, and she was, by her parents, her mother, especially her step, anybody. Uh, she paid for that woman's, final resting spot, and had enough class to put Bern on it. And a lot of people didn't know Jean Harlow did this until many years later. Um, that's pretty fitting to me. I mean, she was so young. You got to remember, well, she was 26 when she died, only 26 when she died, and had made 36 movies, I think, 36 movies. She was and I hate to bring this term up, a cash cow, truly, and it had to be protected. So, uh, and like I said, this is going to be very short. I don't even know if I've even gone an hour yet. Have I? These are, hey, Sid, I love you. I'm just going to give you these interesting little tidbits, and hopefully you'll go. And because there's nothing like picking up a book, I always say this, I will pick up my book and, like, I am back in 1932, and I like hanging out there a lot, a lot. And I know drama brings views, but listen, I'd rather have a stream like this where, I mean, it's just, we've had a lot of nasty. And I thought one night was good not to have it. So, with that being said, it's all I made it almost last an hour. I'm sorry about the not pulling up my pictures, but it's my fucking computer, and we're gonna get another one. Don't worry about it. Love you, Blue, so much, and I love all y'all for coming in. I'm sorry that my computer did not bring up the damn uh things to share. But it is what it is. And if you would like to cover any old Hollywood murder mystery and you want to cover it and be on panel and we discuss it, let me know down below and we can do that. We can absolutely do that. I might revisit Thelma Todd. That one was an interesting one, I think. And I think there's also a new book on that, but I'm not sure. Anyway, as always, thank you for showing up. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for being here with all your support. I appreciate it. I know it's a busy Saturday night. And I love you. Stay safe, stay warm. And I will see you very parody coming tomorrow and another parody coming Wednesday. So Sunday and Wednesday. Tomorrow and Wednesday, parodies. All right. Be safe, stay warm, and come back.